Yo, what is going on, guys?
We're back again with another video.
And in today's video, we're going to be talking to you guys kind of about what it's like going to a small school, especially relating off the last video. We talked about kind of things you need to know before you go to college, and I feel like us going to a small school is a lot of things that a lot of people might not know about, so we're going to cover some of those things in this video. We're right now at our baseball field in 30-degree weather, so grind never stops, I guess. Yeah, so if you guys do learn something from this video, let's get right into it. Also, guys, if you guys do want a part 2 to this video, please let us know, because there are a lot of things that we can talk about going to a small school and a lot of things you guys can learn, especially if you are looking to go to a small school. So just let us know and we can make a part 2 of this video. Alright guys, so the first thing we kind of want to talk to you guys about is kind of how it's related to high school in a way, which I did talk about in my last video. Being at especially a small school, everyone knows everything. Like, for the most part, a lot of people know a lot of people who go here, and if they hear a story or whatever it may be, it spreads like wildfire. It's literally just like a high school. Like, I'm sure some of you guys have gone to small high schools or even bigger ones where they're like 1,300 kids. We only have 2,600 kids at this school. So everything that kind of gets spread around throughout students finds its way to everyone.
Yeah, I would say, like, especially if you went to like a bigger high school, that's almost like 3/4, maybe even like close to the size of this school, or like any smaller college. So it's just like anyone like can hear anything about, like, just honestly like anything that goes on, whether it's like a sports game, like a certain friend group, or like anything that goes on. So it's just like kind of easy to find its way around.
Yeah, especially with sports, because if you get a label as a sports team, it's kind of hard to lose that label. So if something bad happens on a certain team, like, everyone's going to find out about it and everyone's going to think of the entire team that way. That's kind of just the things that we kind of have to go through at a small school, because you walk around everywhere and you see people from soccer team, baseball team, football team, and you know exactly what sport those people play. And it's kind of hard to lose a label once you get it. So it's kind of important to make sure you keep, like, especially a team reputation as good as it can possibly be. Alright guys, so the next thing we're going to talk to you guys about is kind of food. Especially if you guys do go to a big school, you probably hear a lot about, you guys have Chipotle's, Chick-fil-A's, Dunkin's, Waffle Houses, Starbucks, all that kind of stuff on your campus. And, like, to us, that's insane because we don't have a lot of those things. The two things that we do have are Starbucks and this thing called Bento Sushi, which I didn't even know existed until I started coming here. The biggest problem, at least in our minds, is, especially as athletes and having classes and practices and stuff, is it's not easy to always get your food. The one place we have that you can order online, usually it takes at least on average a half hour.
Half hour, 45 minutes.
And obviously it's really hard, especially as a busy college student, trying to eat in between classes, games, practices, all that kind of stuff. So I guess if you are considering going to a small school, take all that kind of into consideration.
I mean, like, I would just say, like, yeah, you have to take that in consideration, because, like, I know for us, like, all the athletes here, like, we like to eat a lot. Like, obviously we're lifting and stuff. We like to eat, like, keep our weight and just, like, keep our meals throughout the day. So, like, with having classes and having practices and stuff, and only having maybe 1 or 2 options to get food, and with stuff being closed at certain times, like, it's not as easy access as you would think it would be to get food. So, like, in order to keep that weight and, like, keep your eating habits right, like, you're gonna have to be, like, flexible, and you're gonna have to really, like, you might have to leave campus every once in a while to get food. You're just gonna have to, like, really just, like, be flexible with what you want to eat, because not everything's always, like, available.
And especially when it comes down to keeping weight and eating a lot of food throughout the day, it's kind of hard when one of our main, like, buffets closes sometimes, when we literally have practice 4 to 7, and that buffet time is literally 4 to 7. So we kind of have to work our way around it. So that's just another thing for you guys to think of when you do come to a small school, is food isn't always going to be the easiest, and you're just kind of just have to figure out your own schedule. And like I said in the last video, time management is going to be huge, especially as an athlete. Like, if you're a student, it's going to be a lot easier because you're going to have a lot more time to eat whenever you want and order those things whenever. But as an athlete, it's really important to have that time management that you need to be able to get everything in during the day.
Yeah, like, obviously not saying you're not going to eat. Like, you're obviously going to eat. You're going to have all your 3 meals in the day or whatever you do. But just depending on your schedule and what you do with your activities, like after class, if you play a sport or something, it's just going to be maybe a little harder than it would be if you're at a school with like 60, 70,000 people. So you just got to take that into consideration.
So the next thing we're going to talk to you guys about is student life, kind of, and academics. Going to a smaller school, obviously you're not going to be in classrooms where you're going to have lecture halls of 200 plus kids. That's one of the things that you kind of almost take as a benefit going to a small school, is you email a professor, like, you don't have to wait probably a while. Like, we don't really know what it's like going to a big school, so I'm assuming you guys will probably have to wait a decent amount, because they probably have tons of emails coming from hundreds of students that they have. And here it's a lot easier to get in contact with your professors, and it's a lot easier. It's basically the classroom size of a high school for the most part. I don't think I've ever had a class more than 25 students in a class. And that's definitely a benefit of going to a small school, is you're able to stay on top of your education more and probably be able to focus better in a smaller classroom and be able to communicate with your professors when you're struggling or whatever you may need from them.
Yeah, you can pretty much take this, like, at least in the classrooms, like, you can take it in the classrooms kind of like it is in high school. Like, you probably have 4 to 5 classes. You'll be in a classroom with 20 to 30 people, which is probably the average high school classroom size. And it's a benefit because when you are in class and you do need help with something, you have your teacher right there, and she or he doesn't have to go around to hundreds of kids to answer questions. They can work with you one-on-one. And also with, like, what he said with the emails, like, I know at a big school is, like, usually an average class size could be like 50 to 100, maybe 200. And if you're emailing teacher or professor about, like, help or something, they're probably getting at least 25 to 30 more emails from other students, and they're not going to be able to get back to you in time, maybe even like 50 to 100. So you just got to keep that into consideration, that these teachers and professors at smaller schools actually get to know you, know your name, unlike maybe at a bigger school where it's just 300 kids sitting in front of one professor.
Alright guys, and the last thing we're going to talk about for this video is kind of how we get around campus. So one thing that wasn't appealing to me, especially when I toured bigger schools, was having to hop on a bus or having to get up an hour before class to be able to make sure you get there on time. Going to a small school, it's very easy to get around. We do have some people who are here who have bikes and scooters and stuff, but like people just kind of like laugh at them because this campus is not that big. Like, it's just really not necessary to be able to need something to get around campus. Like, they can do whatever they want, obviously. But like, we walk everywhere. Like, we don't have to get up an hour before class to make sure that we're there on time. We get up maybe half hour before, brush our teeth, do all that stuff, and we walk to class 10 minutes before, and we're there 5 minutes early. So I guess that's just another one of those positive things that if you are looking to go to a smaller school, that's one of those things to take into consideration as well. Because at least to us, that's kind of one of the important things. That's kind of probably why we chose here, is we did enjoy that, like, small community and, like, be able to walk around and get to class and wherever we need to be on time and efficiently without having to drive or take a bus or do whatever we'd have to do.
Yeah, it's also one of those where, like, at a bigger school, you probably have to drive or, like, commute somehow, take a bus to one of your classes. Or if you're at a bigger school and you don't have a car, then you have to go through the hassle of trying to ask one of your friends or someone if you could borrow their car just to get to class. Whereas here, the maximum walk to one of your classes, or at a smaller school, maximum walk to one of your classes is like maybe 10 minutes, probably a little less. So, like, you can easily walk anywhere to your lectures, to your classes, to, like, tutoring or anything like that, which is positive. And another positive is that if you have other friends that go to school at your same school and you don't live in the same building as them, and they live, like, on the other side of campus or in a different building, it's obviously still going to be close to you. So that walk to your friend's building or to someone that you know is probably going to be just 5 or 10 minutes. So you have easy access to hang out with your friends or someone like that, that even if they live in a different building, and you can just walk there, get there in like 5-10 minutes, which is nice.
Alright guys, so we hope you did learn something from this video. If you guys do have any other questions, you guys can leave them down in the comments or DM me on Instagram. Everything's in the description. We hope you guys did enjoy this video because we enjoy making these type of videos for you guys. And yeah, we hope you guys did enjoy, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
Hello baby, can you come my way? I got a lot of things that I want to say right now.